Hi, I'm Professor Neeta Mathur with another module on presentation skills. Today we will talk about the first impact you have when you start with your presentation. Believe me, people are not looking just at your slides, but also you as a person. So when you go for any presentation, you have to make sure that you are making the right impression, because the first impression usually is the foundation where the rest of the whole impression about you is created. So it could be your clothing, the way you are dressed up, your grooming, the way you have groomed yourself, which makes an impact. So why not use this particular thing to your advantage? Because as per human psychology, it just takes 2 to 5 seconds to make or judge or evaluate another person. Take for yourself. You look at another person, what do you think? The first time you set an eyes on anybody, you have already created an impression about that person in your mind. That where that person must have studied, what kind of studies, is he an engineer or is he just kind of a graduate, or he doesn't even look educated. You definitely make that impression or create that thought process in your mind when you look at a person for the first time, right? It's not just education background. What kind of moral character does a person have? You can easily evaluate by just giving them a first glance. It is human psychology, and to make sure that you are using that particular aspect to your advantage, why not dress up appropriately when you are making a presentation? Because see, that is why when you are packaging any product, you are packaging it so well to make it attractive for the customer to go out and reach out for that particular product. So packaging is important, right? So when you're making any presentation, you are a product out there which is going to be pitching in front of an audience. So why not package that particular product, which is the presenter, well, in a manner that you impress the audience. At least the first impressions are good. Simple things to be kept in mind. Please do not dress up casually. A person needs to be dressed up in a formal or a semi-formal way. Now what does formal means? A simple definition could be anything which has a proper collar. So for boys and men folk, things become easier because they just need to wear a proper shirt and they are almost good to go. For women folk, for ladies, anything with a small collar, the way I am wearing, or even a sari, or even let's say a western, definitely clothing has that kind of collar thing. And as far as Indian clothing is concerned, you have these small collar kurta with the way I am wearing, which can definitely qualify for a formal or a semi-formal sort of thing. So please make sure that you are projecting yourself, that you are a serious person with a serious idea in hand, which you would want to make a presentation about and create an impact about. The moment you dress up casually, people take you casually. And I'm not saying that it is important, very important that you have to have proper clothing and a very expensive set of clothing for that. Just whatever you have, it could be a simple dress which you have, just take care that it is not too faded, it is not torn anywhere. And then again, few pointers which we have for you, that they need not be those clothing which are too loose or which is too tight, because that makes a very bad impression when you're standing in front of an audience. And definitely your shoes are important. As I said, flip-flops definitely are not meant for workplaces. It is a proper shoe which is required when you are dressing up formally. And then colors also matter. What kind of color? They should not be fluorescent or bright color clothes generally, because you never know what kind of impact the audience kind of has because of the colors which you're wearing. So try and be little neutral so that you can gel in that particular audience where you're presenting. And then take care that whatever you're wearing is having certain coordination. They are color coordinated and they are not truly kind of out of sync with each other. They should not be standing out. So even the accessories which you wear, the belt, the necklace, the earrings, for ladies I'm talking about, and for men folk, the shoes, the belt, the handkerchief, if you're having those kind of things with you, try and make sure the socks, very, very important for men folk. Please see that, they are color coordinated with your trousers. White socks are not formal socks. They are sportswear, or they are, if you are wearing a white trouser, then they might be a good match. But otherwise, try and match your socks color with your trouser color. Have a similar tone. If you're wearing a gray trouser, maybe gray socks or light blue socks. Light blue as in the tone should match. They should not be like brown socks when you're wearing blue pants. Something of that sort. Just take care that you are not standing out of that particular crowd, because whenever we are making a presentation, we need to make it a point that we make the audience feel it is something important that they need to pay attention to. Seriously, it matters a lot. I mean, a small incident which had happened with me, I had been visiting a patient who was about to be relieved that particular day, and we were waiting for a doctor to turn up to give that instruction for relieving. Somebody walks in, and that person was wearing dirty shoes, was wearing, if I remember correctly, brown shirt with red stripes, and the trouser had that shiny kind of sheen on it with a kind of worn out belt, and oiled hair which were slightly longer coming till his neck. He was there and he started looking at the papers and stuff, which got us little irritated. We just said, listen mister, we are waiting for the doctor to come so that the person can be relieved. And this person looks up slightly embarrassed and he just introduces himself, I'm Dr. So-and-so. So we also were kind of very embarrassed at that particular thing, because generally when we think of a doctor, the first thing which comes to our mind is that white coat, right? Even if these days people are not wearing white coat because doctor is a doctor, we have that certain impact that the person would be looking polished or educated, or that knowledgeable sort of aura the person has if he or she is a doctor. But that is again a human bias. And things can go in a very, I would say, wrong way or southwards if you are not presenting yourself well. Having said that, the next important thing which comes to your preparation for presentation is your grooming. Believe me, very simple things which we have been taught since our childhood. If you remember in school days, there used to be a fine, howsoever small fine for dirty shoes, right? The shoes had to be polished. So there were morning assemblies, and if you remember, we used to have those, we used to polish our shoes, just rubbing them against our socks so that the instructor, the monitor would not catch us with dirty shoes. So the reason we are learning all that in our school is because grooming forms a very, very important part when you are presenting yourself. Not just for the presentation, otherwise as well, but typically because when we are presenting something, that means it is something important. We want to create an impact somewhere. So take care that this particular essential basic thing is taken care of. Just get ready to the extent that it gives you that inner confidence, you boost your self-image, and you go out and face the world, and take care that your hair, nails, skin care, and your body odor. Believe me, nobody talks about it because it's a very embarrassing thing, but body odor is a major put off. So take care of your own, take feedback from your friends or trusted ones. If you have that kind of problem, maybe you want to take care of that before going for a presentation. Just keep a little deo with you somewhere and use it when you're going to face the audience. Not that the audience is maybe, going to have that smell or something, but for you as a person who's presenting in front of an audience, it will give you that confidence that you're prepared, that there is nothing wrong as far as your persona is concerned, because you have dressed up well, you have taken care that you are dressed up formally, and then your hair is well shampooed or oiled or gelled or whatever way you want to keep your hair. Please, especially girls, a word of caution. I know there is a trend these days that the girls like, especially with long hair, to leave them open. You look smart, you look glamorous, definitely. But in English there is this saying that, you party and you kind of let your hair down. That is when you just let loose your hair. So when you are presenting something, when there is something important, when there is a formal kind of presentation involved, it is always better to kind of pin up, to tuck in your hair, to kind of have a bun or a ponytail or anything. Somewhere some semblance of that particular hairdo is kind of required, it looks good. So instead of going all like, just trying to manage your hair in front of the audience, be ready, be prepared that you are in place, you have things in place, so your hair and everything is taken care of, and you should not be having that sort of a ruffled image that you're just managing your hair, trying to cover up your nervousness. It is just not done. So take care of these essential part, and then the next essential part of the first impact is that you have a whole persona which is right from top to bottom. So when you are looking at a person, you're just not looking at his clothing. It is the complete package, even the confidence. So when we talk of confidence, believe me, small things matter. How you have taken the pains to dress yourself up. Remember any birthday of yours, and don't you feel excited if you're wearing something new because it's your birthday? Simple thing as that. Doesn't that give you some kind of happiness? And you want that people should appreciate because it's your birthday and you're wearing something new regarding your dress or something. It makes an impact. So that little thing, that little effort of you dressing up for that particular presentation will make your presentation much better. Reason that internally you know that you have taken some effort and you have that self-esteem which is enhanced because you have taken care that you are looking good. Simple as that. It's just for your own sake, not just for the audience, but also for your own confidence that one needs to take care of clothing and grooming when you are preparing for that presentation of yours. So it's not just the first impact, but also for your own good that you need to be prepared. The moment you are prepared, that attitude, which really matters, it gives you that kind of smile on your face, it gives that tinkle in your eye, because you know that you're prepared. You've done well. Simple clothing, even if you're wearing something which is nice and which is smart, makes you feel smart, makes you feel nice, isn't it so? Try it out. Just try doing that and you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the difference in your attitude as well. So happy presenting and happy learning. Thank you.